WWE. This is what it means to.
I don't know, I was thinking about something like that, you know? Some kind of weird intro like that. I mean, remember the old State of the WWE theme from like 3 years ago? It was a pretty cool intro. It was pretty bad. I mean, it was done by Justin Bailey, but it was a cool intro. But now it's like it's got all the wrong names in it and stuff like that, so we got to get a different one going. But you know, it'd be cool, like something like this. I was working on it earlier, just throwing shit out there. Like it'd be something like this, you know. Let me play it. Hold on.
What is it all? The WWE. What is it all supposed to mean? What's gonna happen on Monday night?
Something like that.
State of the WWE. State of the WWE. What's it all mean to me?
I was goofing around. Something like that, though. I don't know. I'm coming up with ideas. Yo, BD Skeleton's checking in. Hey, BD Skeleton. BD Skeleton. Hey, BD, thanks, man. I was kind of delaying for a second there to give people time to get in here as we do this live State of the WWE. Don't do a lot of these live, but now with being in my new place and stuff, you're starting to see the flexibility of the schedule. Although Leah is taking a nap and my kids are running around coming back and forth, but it's all good because this is a cool, relaxed episode of State of the WWE. And if you need to listen to the audio version of this later, it will be available on Patreon to download the audio version of this. Should you want to listen later, off air or download or whatever the hell the case is. Not on YouTube. I'll put it up on Patreon in audio form. BD Skeleton, thanks for chiming in. I had a lot of questions the other day that I asked you guys before out of nowhere that I think a lot of people expected to get answered and they didn't. But quickly before that, before we talk about those questions, I do want to go back to anybody who was watching Monetize This last night. We referenced the Dipsy Doo guy from 4 years ago, in 2015, who was upset that I didn't go live that night, and so he lost his mind, and he gave the Sister Abigail to a teddy bear in the same vein that I would fight the bear, and he smashed the back of his head off the wood floor, which is kind of weird because I edited the clip a little bit, but in the real clip he like can't get up for a second, and we did find out he did give himself a concussion later on. Very weird.
Party.
Joe, how you doing, fella?
Jamie Phillips, how you doing? Jamie, what's up, man? Thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate that. And speaking of Jamie and everybody else, I want to let you guys know content is coming. More content in the $10 category on Patreon is coming. I'm developing it as we speak. And we're getting ready to talk about that. There's one thing I've been working on, I haven't told you about. And when it goes to Patreon, it's going to be weekly. But anyway, this is State of the WWE. Let's talk about that. Jamie, thank you for the donation. All donations are on, as always. You want to chime in, you want to ask a question, you want to talk about something, you want to talk about my mother, whatever. Here it is.
It's the last kiss you'll ever get.
Oh my god, dude. Dude, the back of his head just, he has no regard for the back of his head. It's just, oh, he's shocked right there. Right there, he's shocked. Anyway, so I almost helped kill a 17-year-old, whatever. It was 4 years ago. He's old enough now. But goddamn, that was a horrific bump right there. That's not to do it. But yeah, so out of nowhere, I asked you guys some questions. I said, yeah, you know, what do you guys think? And I said questions for out of nowhere. We never got to those questions. We got to so many other things, but never to those questions. So I figured right now, let's do that. So let's do those questions and whatever other questions you guys got. Let's bring it on. It's Costanza in the chat says, Road Dogg. I think Road Dogg is muted me, by the way. I said that earlier. I'm like 100% sure, like pretty much almost positive that Road Dogg has not blocked me, but muted me. You know, because this is my 4th account, you know, and he's probably like, I remember thinking, he's like, what do you keep making new accounts for me? And I'm like, nah, it's not for you. It's because I'm an idiot. Anyway, the alerts are probably still going out for this video. So we're just delaying for a second. But yeah, what's up, guys in the chat? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? We got Corrupted Podcast is tonight at 1 a.m., guys. So never too late to go jump on Patreon for $1 and join us. The whole JCS army is going to be there tonight on Patreon. A lot of people, I think, are going to be hanging out tonight. It's going to be a fun time. Come join the family over here on the Joe Cronin Show, man. It's all a good time. We all talk to each other on Patreon. We message each other. I inbox back everybody. We have a good time on Patreon. All the special links for Discord and shit are there. I just popped in the Discord. I saw all you guys in there hanging out. But yeah, what's up to Patreon? Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Get the app. It's free. The app is free. All right, so now that this is loaded, let's go into it. Let's go into this shit. Now, normally, like I said, I don't do these live, but, I just felt like, let's just do it live. Shit. I messed it up already. Keith Richardson, yo. Keith Richardson says, after SmackDown posted a very low rating, should Fox reconsider even air it Friday nights? Also, some Fox executives said SmackDown on Friday nights would be temporary. Yeah, it's possible it could be temporary. It could be a trial period, or they have it there, and then they want to see where they want to put it after that based on its ratings. Chances are, it's very possible that if they did really well, they would actually move nights if they did really well. And then they would stuff something else in that Friday slot. That could actually happen. It's kind of like, how when the Orville launched on TV, they launched it after Sunday Night Football. So Sunday night it launched, and you're like, oh, Sunday nights, okay. But then they announced, well, it's actually going to be Thursdays now. Now, they did plan that to launch it Sunday, then put it on Thursdays. With WWE, it may be more of a slow burn where they put it on Fridays. They see what the audience is like. They see what happens. They let it build a bit of an audience for a little bit. And then they say, okay, SmackDown's moving to Wednesdays or whatever the hell. And it's like a sort of like a football team getting a new player. You put them in there with the idea of what they're going to do, and then maybe they do something different, and you go, I don't know. That's a terrible comparison. I don't know. I can't do comparisons. Fuck me. But it's something like that. So, yeah, that doesn't mean anything to me. It just means that, yeah, they could move at any time. It's just TV. Now, if they said they could be terminated at any time, I mean, that's that's something that, wow, like, what are they talking about? But that's not a big deal to me at that point, what they're at. Talvish, what's up, Talvish? He just says hi. What's up, Talvish? Trombone Boy 00, concerning name. Who do you think will face Asuka at WrestleMania? I think they may shock us with Alexa Bliss. Wow. I'm still going Charlotte. There is no reason why it should not be Charlotte versus Asuka. It just should be Charlotte versus Asuka should be at WrestleMania. That's all there is to it. There should be no. Otherwise, what is Charlotte going to do? And if you're one of these people who's going to tell me that they're going to make Becky Lynch and Ronda triple threat, that's retarded. I think that is dumb. That's stupid.
Patreon is awesome. Better than WWE Network.
Thank you, Lissandro Guzman. That's hard to say, man. The network, I think, is great, though. I really do. I mean, I give you 30 hours of content a month for $5. That's a lot. $5 is a lot when you compare it to what the WWE Network has to offer. But being a small business that I am, it needs to be around the $5 mark for me to be able to survive. So, $5, 30 hours a month. It's not bad. And then you get access to thousands of hours of shit. So Patreon is awesome. I think the network is awesome too, though. I love the network. Just for the old shit, I love it. And then the NXT takeovers. The takeovers and all the old shit that I can tune in and watch, it is so good that I can do that. I love it. The network is... Dude, it's 4 years... Can you imagine if this was 4 years ago and we had to pay $60 for these pay-per-views? Would you even be... Nobody would... Who would be buying these pay-per-views? Nobody. And a lot of people would say, well, that's the problem. They don't care. They're like, well, they're just going to buy the... They're going to buy the pay-per-views no matter what. So, yeah, Joe, that's the issue. And, yeah, you might be right. So, I definitely get that. Roger.
Super chat.
Lissandro, what's up?
Patreon consistently entertaining, though.
I agree. Patreon can be a little bit of a pain in the ass sometimes with their updates and shit. Like, people are still a little confused about some things. And the weird thing about Patreon, Lissandro, thank you for the $1.99. The weird thing about Patreon is that, like, by the way, I do not have the crayon with me, guys. I'm sorry. I may whip out some crayon at some point. One of the weird things about Patreon is how some stuff works differently on the desktop. So if you're on your computer, you know, the thing with the keyboard, it works a little better, I think,
Super chat.
than the mobile.
Party.
Jamie Phillips.
I'm not a fan of Becky Lynch. I just don't get the fuss.
You know, I don't get it either a little bit. I'm there with you, Jamie. I'm there a bit, man. I remember even when Sasha was killing it, I remember people still saying, yeah, but Becky Lynch, man. And I'm like, what is so good about her? You know, wrestling-wise, and she had no attitude then, really. I have no idea, Jamie, either. I like her. I do like Becky, but I kind of just like her. Like if this was like oh my god, like, but no, if this was the like oh my god, like I did it again. If the men's division was killing it, like, let's pretend the men's division's killing it, right? So men's division is killing it. It's awesome. There's like a Stone Cold like character there for everybody to be entertained by. And then on top of that, the women had Becky Lynch doing this with Ronda. This would be awesome. Because, you know, while I think the Becky Lynch-Ronda thing is one of the better things going now, it's still not a great thing for me. It's kind of like a I don't know, like a B+ story or a B- story. Maybe I don't know. I mean, everything else is so bad though, right? Like, everything else is like an F or a D or like a C-, and like the Becky Lynch thing for me is like a B- or like something like that. I don't know. Oh my god. So with that be fucking gotta stop doing that. So with the Becky Lynch
Super chat. Party.
what the hell?
Becky only in WM main event because of Ronda.
Well, that's part of it. I will say that, Jamie Phillips. I will say that it's really both of them. I mean, but here's the thing. Honestly, if there was no Ronda, you could plug in Charlotte there and have Charlotte and Becky would be doing this, kind of. But if there was no Becky, then Charlotte and Ronda would be doing this. So I think right now we've seen that Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda have become the top women. And they just can't figure out Bayley and Sasha. But really, Bayley and Sasha should have been elevated to that point as well, and they weren't allowed to be, similar to Ty Dillinger. Ty Dillinger responded to somebody on Twitter earlier who said, would you be able to just go back to NXT? And he said, I tried. So that tells you what's going on there. And this is a guy who was killing it in NXT. And then when he came up to the main roster, the people were all doing the 10. They loved it. They liked it pretty good. It was actually transitioning somewhat. It was pretty good. The crowds were doing the 10. And then they took him off TV. And we heard they took him off TV because the crowds kept chanting 10 for everything, 10 for this, 10 for that, 10 for this, and Vince McMahon hated it. And there goes Ty Dillinger's push. And not even a push, just like, dude, this guy could have been a top mid-carder or a middle mid-carder. He could have been in an R-Truth type of role with the 10 thing. You didn't have to put him over everywhere. But again, I feel like they were like, he's interfering with shit. And then you get a guy who goes off TV. I mean, I know he got the injury. It just seems like a waste, especially on the nights where it's like you're bored of seeing the same thing. You know, can Ty Dillinger go out there and just win a 5-minute match? Just have Ty Dillinger come out and win a couple 5-minute matches here or there. Then have him face somebody at a pay-per-view. You know, tell a little story with him. Get him in with the crowd. I mean, it's like you don't build anybody anymore. The WWE used to like try to build everybody and then see who rose up and then start going with them. Or they would try to push one guy but then let everybody else rise up. Now it's kind of like, we're going to really try to push that. And if anything else that we didn't plan comes up, fuck that shit. We're pushing it down. We're pushing that down. If that's not what we wanted, And that is just a dumb mindset to have, I feel like. We're in a mode right now where if you start feeling the crowd giving you something, you got to give it right to them. You got to give it right to them. And WWE right now doesn't quite do that all the time. The crowd starts giving them something, and WWE goes, huh, that's weird. Oh, well, think about that. Okay, well, let's keep trying to do what we were doing. Oh, now let's give it to them. Oh, now they don't like that. Oh, well, they're wrong everywhere.
WWE roster for me is too big.
The roster is, yeah, it's too big. Yeah, it's probably too big. They don't utilize it the right way. It's too big, but it's also full of too many average people. It's filled with just bullshit. It's filled with guys who might as well not be there. That's what it is. It's filled with a guy like Ty Dillinger who can get over with the crowd, but the WWE won't let him just be him, won't give him that time. Mike Bennett. Why the fuck is Mike Bennett in the company? He's a talent on the mic. Decent wrestler. Think he's good in the ring. Talent on the mic. He'd be good in really good storylines. Doesn't get any storylines. Then you got guys who can do flipsy-dipsy-doo everywhere. But they'll never do anything because they don't have good characters most of the time. Leo Rush at least has something. They gave Leo Rush the manager role, and he can go out there and wrestle every once in a while, but that's not what it's about. It's about his character and him putting over Bobby Lashley the best he can. He's being utilized. You know, a lot of people said they're using Leo Rush for this. Well, I agree with you that is weird. I didn't expect it. Who the hell saw that coming? I didn't. But you know what? Leo Rush is in one of the better positions of many of those other guys are going to be in. Many of those other guys who are great wrestlers and high flyers, they're going to get used like shit with no character, with nothing to do. They're going to flipsy-dipsy-doo on 205 Live. They're going to get angry about it, and then they're either going to leave, be frozen, or whatever. That's about it. Now, Finn Balor was able to convert, but Finn Balor isn't exactly an insane high flyer. You know, Finn Balor, and that's one of the other things about Finn Balor is, like, everybody does these moves now, like the flip over the top or, like, the little things that he does, and it's kind of like, it's really diminished because so many other guys do so many crazier things. And Finn Balor, his style, he's really adapted to the WWE style. He's got those regular moves, the cookie cutter setup. And while I think it's a kind of a good thing, or it helped him at least get onto the main roster the way he is, it does get old when you see the same pattern of moves. There should almost be like a mental rotation of moves in guys' heads. Like, hey, I'm doing these 4 new moves now every once in a while, and now I'm trying to not do this as much. And maybe they can rotate back and forth to things. It's almost like going into a football game, like where you have plays, like you're a coach and you have plays. You know, because wrestling is way more scripted now than it used to be, especially the wrestling. The wrestling is way more scripted. It's retarded. It's stupid. You can tell. Doesn't look good. Too scripted on the promos, comes off robotic. Sounds like everybody sounds the same. Too scripted in the ring, comes off robotic. Sounds like the whole thing was completely planned out. I think it's absolutely asinine and it's terrible. Roger says, yeah, we talked about that, right? Do you think the WWE ruins everything or isn't good enough when it comes to giving the fans what they want? I don't think that they should give the fans everything they want.
Party.
Jamie Phillips, what's up, brother?
I miss pro wrestling. The young fans like all the spots and flips now. It's sad.
I know, Jamie. I got you there, man. I got you, bro. And thank you. You've been a beast on this stream here. Super chat party. Look at that. What a super chat party! Oh my God, Mero. I can't believe it. His shoulder might have been dislocated. He took a super chat right to the clavicle. He might be down. Joe, it's my intense honor to be here with Joe Cronin announcing this. Oh my goodness, though. His clavicle has been maybe crushed into pieces. You're right, Nigel. I'm sorry. I love Nigel, though. I would love to have Nigel calling with me. I would love to have Nigel McGuinness. I was calling wrestling the other night, and I was just thinking, man, get that Nigel with me would be great. To do commentary with Nigel. It'd be exciting. I think anyway, Jamie Phillips, thanks for the $10. And yeah, it's too bad. I like a mix. I like a mix of both. I like sometimes what NXT can do, where NXT has like a very good story match, a classic wrestling match with a little more modern twist. And then they have that sort of high-flying match that's crazy. I appreciate it when I get all that mixed together. I like that. You know? Like a couple NXT takeovers ago.
Super chat.
That was awesome.
Super chat.
WWE is afraid of the talent getting bigger than WWE.
Yeah, I mean, William Ritchie, it feels like that. It's weird. It's bizarre that they are afraid of that. It's like Cena was the last guy. I don't understand that mindset. I kind of understand it, but I don't understand it. Like, you're not going to be what you are if you don't let these personalities speak to the crowd at home. You just are not going to be there. Yeah, for the short term, you're going to be popular based on WWE. WWE is the biggest star right now. There's no big star. The big star in WWE is WWE. Unless Vince comes out there, or Shane comes out there, or the Game, Triple H comes out, and and he comes out there, Stephanie comes out, whatever, one of those. They're all more over than any of the wrestlers are. It's pathetic. So, and I don't know if I even believe that that's what they're doing, but it seems like it. And whether they're not, even if they're not doing that, it feels like they're doing that. And that's all they should know. Is Vince should know, and Road Dogg should know. Oh my God! Why is the Peacock donation playing with the Santa Claus gif? What is going on? What is this?
I'd like to see WWE do a special show where the wrestlers swap gimmicks and use classic gimmicks for one night only. No storylines attached, just a fun, surprising night.
Wow. The wrestlers, Lissandro Guzman, thank you for the $21. The wrestlers swap gimmicks. Oh my God, that is so weird. That would be so bizarre. In a weird way, I want to see that. But in another weird way, I don't want to see that whatsoever. Because that would just, remind me how dumb, and fake wrestling is. But I kind of like it in a way, though. That's weird. Wow. I don't know how I feel about that. I really am not sure how I feel about that. I don't know. Like, they do, somebody does, the Macho Man gimmick, and someone does the Hogan gimmick, and that type of thing. That might be too far, kayfabe, fourth wall stuff. I feel like it feels it would be fun probably, but that just feels like it's too much of a pull down the wall. I mean, we all know it's fake, but you really, it's like, I don't know. It's like in a movie when they come out and they say we're in a movie, haha, that's a joke. In a comedy, that sometimes works. A lot of times it works in a comedy, but in a regular drama or a horror movie or something like that. For someone to come out and say, hey, we're making a movie, right? That would make you in the theater be like, what the fuck? And you just lose all believability of everything. And I feel like that's how that would work in wrestling. But wrestling can kind of get away with some things, but they're not quite a comedy. So that's a tough one for me. I don't think I would do that, but I do love the idea. I'll say that. And by the way, I appreciate that big $21 drop, by the way. Ryo Seeker Fulf. Or it's actually Craig Walsh first. Hey, Rusty, have you ever been to a Turkish prison? What the fuck? Ryos, I would vote for you, Joe Cronin, for commentary of AEW. Let me tell you something. That would be amazing. I would
Party.
I mean, I would do that job for free if I could.
Peace out, Joe. It's 1 a.m. here.
Damn.
And I got work tomorrow. Have a great night.
Hey, thank you very much, Jamie. You have a good night. I appreciate all the support, man. Thank you so much for the... those euros? Those are euros, right? I think they're euros. I'm a dumb American. You got to help me, Jamie. But Jamie, man, cheers. Have a good day. I appreciate that. You're a beast, dude. Thank you so much, Jamie, and also Lissandra. You both probably donated about the same. Sandra with the 21 bomb. After that monetized this last night, it was a good show. Last night I thought was really good.
Super Chat Party.
Jay Giles.
Think NXT exposure hurts the main roster?
I think it hurts it in the NXT fans' eyes because we expect a lot, and then when they come up, we don't get a lot. But only about 20% of the WWE universe is watching NXT, maybe 15%. So when you're talking about only 15%, that's very tough. I mean, and the weird thing is you get all these people complaining about the main roster, but then they don't turn on NXT. They don't do it. They just won't do it. They're like lazy or something. Like, you have the WWE Network. You don't like the main roster. Why in the world have you not watched an NXT TakeOver? And I mean, like, you think we're just making this up? Like, do you think we're making up that the NXT TakeOvers are all an 8, 9, or 10? The NXT TakeOvers are all a 7, 8, 9, or 7, 8, 9, or 10. Almost every one of them. And most of them are fall in the 8.5 category. So I just don't get it. If you don't watch NXT, but you complain about the main roster and you have the WWE Network, I think you might be fucking crazy. You might be insane. You might be on drugs or something. Seeker, thank you for that, man. I really wish I could work for the AEW. I would love to. If they offered, I would jump. Absolutely, I would jump. I would be there, whether it's commentary, I'll be there Mean Gene if they want. I'll be a manager. I can do that too. I mean, dude, I would love to do it. I was a referee for 5 years, commentator for 6 years now. I've been a commentator for 6 years in wrestling, 5 years referee, and I wrestled for 2 years. So, you know, I got a lot of experience I don't think a lot of people know about, other than the indie promoters that I usually work with. I may take a few more indie bookings around the country, but you know, right now it's not really worth it to jump on a plane for like $40. You know, the plane ticket's more money. I did have one indie company reach out to me recently, and they said they would pay everything and then give me $100 when I got there or something. So that would be worth it. I would do that as long as I'm not losing money. I don't mind spreading the voice around on different promotions, DVDs, and websites and things like that. Casey Rose! Good old Casey Rose.
Super Chat. Super Chat.
Joe, we gotta do something together. PUBG Apex.
Ryan Pelletier, what's up, man? Yeah, I played a little bit of Apex the other night, as you guys may have seen, but I was getting a lot of plosives on that other microphone. This covers way better. Plosive. I'm into microphones. I don't know. Casey Rose, what are your thoughts on Ambrose leaving? Well, I did a whole video on it, but if I remember, my thoughts are, good, I guess. Like, good that he's leaving for him to get the hell out of this place that has been, I guess, poisonous to him. He doesn't like it. They haven't. We don't really know what's going on, and WWE won't tell me. So I'm just going to assume that they would do nothing he wanted to do, and he felt like an asshat, and now he wants to leave. And I hope he goes to AEW, and then just works less. You know. For WWE, it's bad. You're allowing one of your biggest, the biggest superstar of the last 5 years, besides it's Daniel Bryan, number one. But number two, it's The Shield. Even though that's not a superstar, that's 3 superstars. But The Shield was your new Cena, right? But they never really reached that height. But they did reach up there. They did reach. They reached. And you had that. And losing Dean Ambrose, well, you really don't have the Shield anymore now. Even if you get 2 guys, it's not the Shield. Now, maybe they could eventually put Roman with Seth and for some tag team and call them the Shield. The Shield are tag team champions. Yeah, you could do that, but you know, I'm sure they did not want to lose him. But I think it's great. Good. Get out of here, man. This is guys, for the younger crowd out there, the older crowd, Anybody who's 27 and older that remembers this, or anybody who's a historian of wrestling, I mean, you kidding me? Does this not remind you of 1993 or 94? You know, when Hogan left the WWF? And it's not quite Hogan leaving, but it's more of the Kevin Nash and Razor when they left. You know, once WCW had Hogan, so pretend the Hogan thing didn't happen. There's no Hogan to leave to go to AEW at this point. There's no Hogan to leave to do that. But, you know, Dean leaving and some of these other guys leaving, it's very reminiscent of the Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, whatever, Diesel, Kevin Nash leaving. It's very similar. In a downtime where everybody was complaining, where the ratings were down, where the product was really not good. It really wasn't. I love Bret Hart, and I loved him at the time. Big fan. I was a 10-year-old. I was in the front row going, yeah, Bret Hart. 11-year-old, actually. And, but still, I knew. I was looking around. I was like, man, there's not a lot of guys in this WWF right now. What is this? What happened to Hogan and the Warrior and the big places and the WrestleMania? You know, now it's like small little buildings and Bam Bam Bigelow and Bret Hart, and they brought back Roddy Piper to be a ref, and it's just weird. Sid's here, I guess, and the Undertaker's still here. You know, it was just a weird time. It feels like that time again right now. Except, to be honestly, this feels worse. This is worse.
Joe, I mean broadcast games. Talk, I'm in the tier.
Oh, Ryan, what's up, man? Yeah, we got to do that. We have to do that. If you're in the Patreon tier, have you messaged me on Patreon? Are you in a tier for that on Patreon? Send me a message on Patreon if you are, Ryan. Yeah, we got to do something. Tomorrow night is gaming night, though, Ryan. So Sunday night. Hit me up tomorrow. And on Patreon after I'm done this. We got to play some games. I'm going to be streaming a bunch tomorrow night for my gaming stream. Which eventually is going to go over to my gaming channel only. So hopefully you guys... hopefully a lot of you guys will follow over there. It's just like every time I broadcast over there, it's like 30 to 80 people show up. But if I broadcast here, it's like I know about 100 or so or more will come. So it's hard to figure that out. Ryan Pelletier has been a big supporter and a beast. And Ryan, I just want to say thank you, man, for all that support. I really, really appreciate that. And everybody else who's been donating over the years. And everybody chiming in with the Super Chat. You guys are beasts. You guys are all beasts. Got a bunch of JCS Army members in the chat. I see the Patreon and the VIPs. Is EC3 going to show up at the mall? Yeah, right? I don't think he'll be as big as Luger showing up, though, you know? I don't think he'll quite be as big. Yeah, I mean, I had, I remember when we had Flip Gordon on the show. I can have Flip Gordon on again if you want. I mean, I can get Flip Gordon on the show anytime. I'm friends with him. I'm friends with his family, and I'm cool with Flip too. So I could get Flip on. I mean, I'm pretty cool. We don't we don't fucking talk at all, really. But you know what I mean? Like, I know him. When I see him, we're like, oh shit, it's you. Cool, man. What's up? That type of deal. I'll get him on the show if you guys want. If you want Flip Gordon on, I'll get him on. We had him on already. We did 2 interviews with Flip Gordon. I did an interview with Flip Gordon. I think his first interview he ever did a long time ago, or one of the first. His first year of wrestling, we had Flip on. That was cool. I was excited for him. He was just going by, you know, Travis Gordon at the time, or Travis Air Gordon. We see a bunch of different names. But yeah, we'll get him back on the show again. I got the old interview with him up from a year and a half ago. Yeah, actually, Flip Gordon's, we've talked about this before, but Flip Gordon's uncle is the guy who ran into my head and gave me the concussion at hockey. So all the people are always like, why don't you play hockey anymore? Or people that remember my concussion from 2013, it was his uncle that ran into my head. Fucking guy is a beast, though, dude. His uncle is nuts. I love his uncle, though, because when we would play, me and him, his name was Dana. Me and him would check each other and shit and fucking whatever, and I was leaning to tip a puck away from him, and like an idiot, rather than just lean with the stick, I stuck my head out like that, and his knee caught me right in the head as he was flying by. And I remember everybody on the bench just was like, oh shit, like, as my head flew back like a bobblehead. Everybody on the bench was like, that's the worst hit I've ever seen in person, like on the ice. And I was like, are you kidding me? There's like 5 guys on the bench. I was like, They were like, yeah, I've seen some hits. They were like, I've never seen that.
About to get it, man.
I was
Here
like,
we go,
wow.
about to get
No
it,
wonder I
man.
got a
Here we
concussion.
Here we go. Here we go. Oh, no.
Get Dean on and your Bret Hart on him.
Oh my God, that'd be great. Well, what's up, Dean? You know, it's me, Bret Hart. I'd love to have you on the show. Imagine that if I impersonated Bret Hart and pretended like I was him, emailing Dean. Like, oh, you know, Bret Hart has a podcast now. His first guest, he wants it to be you. And Dean would say yes because Dean loves Bret. And then I just come on and be like, you know, Dean, it's really good to have you on the show. I've always been a fan of yours. And, like, Dean's like, wow, man, yeah, man, that's great. Like, I'm such a mark for you. It's great. I'd be like, well, you know, you've been a damn idiot. Just start yelling at him and shit. Scoob, what's up, Scoob 9 mil? How you doing? Yeah, that was 2013. You've been listening since then, dude. 5 years. 5.5 years you've been listening because that was my concussion. How about that? This is not a pimple. Someone said Joe with a pimple on his forehead. This is a freckle. That's always there. I just noticed it too. It's really prominent right now. Must be the lighting in here. But that's not a pimple. That's a freckle. That's always there. It does look really... Maybe it is a pimple. Why the hell is it sticking out so much? That is really sticking out there, huh? What is that? Let me lower my head a little bit so that comes... Why is that? What the fuck? I have no idea what that is. The Goon! Goon, thanks for the donation, man. Great. Now I'm going to stare at that the rest of the fucking show, dude. Thanks.
Here we go. About to get it, man. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, no.
Will and EC3 be a good feud and help put each other over? Joe Cronin. Whoop whoop, sign of the horns, sign of the horns, sign of the horns.
You know, too sweet. Too sweet. Thank you for the $5 that was dumb. What the fuck was that? Woo! I don't fucking know. Whatever. Too sweet. 19. Thanks for the question. Yeah, you know what? If I was WWE, I'd run with a program where it's like, okay, let's let Kevin Owens do a lot of his own talking, and let's let EC3 do a lot of his own mic work. Let's put them in a feud together, and let's see if they can take it to WrestleMania. Let's do it. Let's do it. And let's have it lead to some kind of gimmick at WrestleMania. You know, that's what I would do. Let these guys run on the mic with whatever they want to run with. You know, guys, try to keep it PG. Whatever. You know, maybe approve some of the shit first. Once you start getting rolling and we like the pattern, go get it. Just go after each other. And see where that develops and do something with them at WrestleMania. Steel cage. Dude, do the old school steel cage. I'm not joking. Bring back the old blue piece of shit steel cage. Like that rough, awful fucking thing. Dude, I'm not joking. Bring back the old welded steel cage from like WrestleMania 3 and put Kevin Owens in EC3 into that cage. All right? At WrestleMania. And just fuck it. You know, that'd be fun. I don't even like steel cages, really. But I'm game for that. I really am. Remember when Mankind had that China slam the door shut on Mankind's fucking head? Dude, that was insane. That hit his head. That shit was thick steel. It wasn't like the cage that just... It was like fucking... Like it doesn't even make a noise. It just thud. Like it was awful. Casey Rose, thank you. Beely, I don't know if this is off topic, but what do you think of Marvel casting a new Wolverine? I mean, they got to do it, Beely. And it is off topic, but, you know, they got to do it, Beely. You know, unfortunately, it's inevitable. I don't want to follow up Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, though. Fuck that. You know, but nobody wants to follow up Christopher Nolan's Batman, or rather, he's the director. God damn, who played Batman? Well, you guys know. I don't know. I can't think of it right now. I'm a stupid idiot. But nobody wants to follow that. Oh, let me fix this real quick. And I got tons more questions. All right. God damn this thing. Fixed. I think it's fixed. What are the 3 matches in WWE each of you want to see before 2018? Of course, that was an out of nowhere question we didn't get to. Zach Connor. What are the 3 matches in WWE you want to see before 2018 ends? What? He asked this 2 days ago. I'm assuming you mean 2019. Okay. I assume you mean 2019. Too Sweet. Thank you for the $5 before that too. Appreciate that, dude. You're a beast, Too Sweet. And I haven't even broken out the crayon yet, buddy. It's not even out yet. By the way, this entire episode of State of the WWE will be uploaded to Patreon in audio form for all the patrons. It will be for everybody too. Even the dollar patrons will get it. So enjoy that. But I do encourage you to become a $10 patron a month because that will help me be able to pay for more stuff and everything. So if you guys like what I do, please think about becoming a patron because not only are you supporting the channel, especially if you don't donate live, think about becoming a patron because you, for $1 to $5 to $10, whatever else, you also get 5, 20, or 30 or hours of content a month that you don't get on YouTube. So you got to do it. Zach Connor, thanks, man. I don't know. I really don't. I don't care. I like that. I don't care about anybody. How about like it's all NXT. It all revolves around NXT for me. Ricochet. I want to see all those guys, man. I wanted to see Lars Eller come up. I want to see Eller versus like Joe or something. But Eller's afraid of his shadow somewhere. So we're never going to get that. I want to get that, but we're never going to get it. He's at a pharmacy right now trying to get diagnosed. That sucks. I feel bad for him. I do, but I'm still going to make fun of stuff. I do feel bad for him, though. I've got probably as many problems as him. It's not even, so I'll make fun of myself, but I just don't know what to say to you. It's really disappointing as a fan, and I know it's mean to say that, like, because it's selfish. The guy is going through something, but I'm pissed that they advertise this guy forever, and like, oh, who's he going to go with? And it's like, well, he's going with Plan C, the fucking loony bin. You know, I don't know. I think I want to see Velveteen Dream like headline WrestleMania. I mean, I have no idea. Everybody sucks. I want to see Daniel Bryan.
Super Chat Party.
Will you break out the wheel for monetize this?
I think so. I think so, Lissandro Guzman, because yes, I think so. If I can get somebody to bring it to me, or if I have to go pick it up myself, it's an hour drive to go get it. But I think so. We're pulling out all the stops for episode 200 of Monetize This next week. This Friday coming up. Last night was great. If you missed episode 199 last night, it was fun. It was good. Tommy NC puts quarters up his ass. It's very weird. He didn't do it on the show, but he admitted to it. Then he admitted he did it when he was 15. That was weird. What's up, honey? Is that my phone? Oh. Why do you want us to put it in there so you can be on TV? Here, bring it over here. I'll show you. Come over here. Come around here. Don't go. You got a duck under my wire right here. Hang on a minute. Kid interruption. Pass me that. What, are you going to make a video? Yeah. Okay. You're a little star. You're going to be like Daddy? You're going to be like Daddy, aren't you? I can already tell you're like me. When I was your age, I begged them to take we had a little camera. We had a video camera with a tape. You put a tape in it, big tape in it. And I'd beg my parents to take it out. Yeah, big tape, big cassette. You put it in the video camera. Yeah, it's really big. And I would beg my mom and dad to let me just put it on, and I would act all goofy on in front of it. And who knew that would be? I want to take a video. Do you want me to make it so you can see yourself? Oh, no. Who's that? What's up? Oh, hang on a minute. Okay, so that's all settled. What is up, everybody who's still here? Sorry, man. Hey, I left the door open for a reason. Got to take care of the kids, too. But it's all good. I'm going to have some ice. That's what Tommy did on the show last night. Oh, Joe, I'm him. I'm sorry, Tommy, if you're listening. But this is what you do, man. You start chewing on ice during the shows. All right, let's go next thing. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I don't care. You know what I want to see is good stories from everybody. But there's no number one guy. There's no number one person. There's no Hogan. There's no Stone Cold. There's no Rock. Dude, there's not even a Shawn Michaels for me to get invested in. And Shawn Michaels is my favorite of all time, so I would love if there was Shawn. The minute Shawn retired, I'm like, oh man, I don't know what the hell I'm going to root for now if Shawn's not here. And I felt that way like right away from the beginning at that point, you know, and I did. Jesus. Yeah, I just can't think of anybody that I would want to, I just don't care, you know? It's like all guys, and all I can think of is NXT matches. I want to see Sasha Banks go back down to the women's division in NXT and become the boss again with the belt. I want to see, you know, Adam Cole versus Ricochet again in a ladder match, you know? I just want to see all these crazy things, but in NXT.
Tommy put quarters in his ass, but remember that enema you gave yourself on stream? Great times, haha.
I do remember that. Sandra Guzman, thank you, man. I remember, dude, I was dying when I gave myself that enema. How long did I talk about that? Didn't I talk about that for like 5-6 months? If Matt Hardy doesn't show up, I'm going to give myself an enema. That was a great video. I'm going to give myself, and I kept saying it like that too. I was like, I will give myself
Here we go.
an enema.
To get it, man.
I knew what I was doing.
To get it, man. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, no.
How many dollars you think might still be lodged up Tommy's ass?
I don't know.
I'll say at least $1.
At least $3.50. Yeah. You know, what the hell? Chlorocat Meoweth. Chlorocat Meoweth. Yeah, I'm gonna bet that you might be right. I'm gonna go with less though. I'm gonna say that there's at least one. You know, I think he was obsessed with getting them out. Like it's like he was putting them in and taking them out, some kind of weird sex thing. Like this is a guy who won't admit that he pleasures himself. Like he never does that ever. He's never done it. But yet he put quarters inside of his ass. I think that's just bizarre. It's just like the weird, like what? You admit to that, but you did, but you know I definitely don't do those other things. It's very strange. Sandra Guzman and Chlorocat Meoweth. Thank you. Dorian Moore, is the white man my friend? I think some of them are. Are you not white? I mean, yeah, most white people probably are. Are you? You know, I mean, I don't know. There are some that probably aren't. Because in every group, there's always about 15% bad, right? In every group. And then there's like 5% really bad in every group. So, yeah, I would say most white people are your friend. Probably. Rayshawn Williams, what's up, Rayshawn? What are your thoughts about WrestleMania 36 going back to Florida over Minnesota? They never hosted the event and is way overdue. Rayshawn, man, I agree, dude, that like I would love to see the WrestleMania somewhere else, like somewhere different. It's like they keep going back to Florida. Now I like Florida because Florida's warm and makes me feel all good inside, and I really enjoy it. But I kind of can't blame them. They consider Florida like their second home now, like, you know, New York or Connecticut. It's not even, they don't even go to Connecticut really anymore. They just go to New York and Florida. maybe L.A., but Boston and Connecticut, they've kind of lost their way. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, I wish you guys got WrestleMania. That'd be cool. Honestly, I'd like to see that. We're never going to get it back here in Boston again. I feel like if ratings keep going down, maybe we will get it here in Boston. Maybe we'll have it at the Patriots Stadium, at Gillette Stadium. Because I feel like they're selling out these giant stadiums, but soon the tickets are going to drop a little bit for WrestleMania, I would think. And if that happens, they're probably still going to be able to have it at a big place, but they won't have to have it at like an insanely huge place. So a big place, but not an insanely big place, could be Gillette Stadium. But if they kept going bigger and bigger and bigger, they would never have it in Boston again, because we don't have anything big enough here to house WrestleMania. But the Patriots Stadium could do it if WWE stock keeps dropping. Well, not actual stock, because stock is usually doing well. But if WWE kept trending downward with ticket sales and everything else like that, I could see that. Rashawn Williams, thanks, man. Baltimore Deontay, why do Charlotte always get everything? Yeah, man, because she's like the chosen one, man. She is the Roman Reigns female. But maybe she won't get everything. Maybe this time, you know what I mean? They'll give. I think they're really trying Ronda and Becky. They're like, let's go Ronda and Becky this time, and but Charlotte still Charlotte gets the championship probably with Asuka. It's got to be with Asuka. They can't, if they involve Charlotte and Becky Lynch's shit, like, that is just asinine if they do that. I may choke myself out if that happens. Baltimore Deontay, thanks. Then William Ritchie's up. If Daniel Bryan ends up retaining the Hardcore Championship at the World Series, how many of Tom Brady's balls will win a Grammy? I don't know, man. You know what? The answer to that is I'm high as shit. Shout out to William Ritchie, though. Oh, he's a good supporter. What's up, 24? Should Charlotte be added into Becky's and Ronda's match at WrestleMania? No! It's funny, I was just talking about that. Absolutely not. Unless you want to see me joke myself. Ricky Bobby from the D. What order do you see each guy getting eliminated? I can't believe we haven't run into at least one troll comment. This is amazing. What order do you see each guy getting eliminated in the Elimination Chamber? I don't know. That's a good point. I'd have to bring up the Elimination Chamber. Let me bring up the Elimination Chamber. Who cares, I guess, really is the answer. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so here it is. I needed to bring it up or I wouldn't remember what the hell. So Daniel Bryan's the champion. I really, really believe that Daniel Bryan is going to win, so I think it doesn't matter, kind of. I think Daniel Bryan is going to retain until WrestleMania. At least he should retain until WrestleMania. This guy's hot right now. Daniel Bryan is killing it with this hemp belt. It's awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and say that the first guy to get eliminated probably, will be... I think Samoa Joe actually might be eliminated. I think Samoa Joe will be eliminated by Mustafa Ali. And then Jeff Hardy will be eliminated at some point by Randy Orton, leaving Mustafa Ali, Randy, AJ, and Daniel. And then, Mustafa Ali will actually eliminate Orton, I think. And that will leave Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, and Mustafa Ali. And then as Randy Orton is leaving the chamber, he may RKO Mustafa Ali, and then Daniel Bryan will put him in the yes lock or whatever he calls it now, or whatever, hit him with his running knee, Psycho knee kick, and eliminate Mustafa Ali, leaving AJ and Daniel, and then maybe Daniel will win by maybe nefarious means. I don't know. Not sure. But I think Daniel will come out on top of this with the WWE Championship, something similar to what I just said. So there you go. That's about how I would book it. I don't think I would book Samoa Joe to lose quick like he's probably going to be eliminated. But that's just what they may do. Their track record, I think. Beely is back. He's got another one. Beely's saying, to me, Daniel Bryan is the best thing in WWE. I don't think Becky Lynch. I don't think it's Becky Lynch. Do you agree? Right now, I think Daniel Bryan is the most interesting thing for me on the microphone. But I'm about equal on them right now for the most part. But, yeah, I would say that Daniel Bryan's promo a couple weeks ago has been my favorite thing of anything. So I'm giving Daniel Bryan the slight edge right now. So, and if he's the WWE champion, I mean, that's good for the men if he goes in with interest. But I like Daniel Bryan, man. I almost want the guy. I want the guy to win. He's the heel, and I want him to win. I want him to win. I want to hear more of his. I want to hear more of these promos from him. What's up in the chat? What's up, Cran, baby? I got the Cran. Yeah, I got the Cran upstairs. We're gonna break out the Cran for Corrupted tonight, probably. Yeah, it sucks outside right now, no doubt. Bogenhagen will be another No Way Jose. Yeah, it did feel like that a little bit. But he's ripped and stuff. He's got a little bit more believability in him. But he didn't really wrestle much. So, yeah, he does feel like that, though. Oh, my God, Mero. This is absolutely disgusting. He's like an adolescent Neanderthal. This is the disgusting display. I love that comment. If you haven't seen NXT with Bogenhagen's entrance and his whole thing with Nigel McGuinness going heel, loved it. Very similar to Dave Rose does a great. Dave Rose in the chat. Dave Rose does a great heel announcer. Kind of like Nigel. I like that stuff. I like that style because it's like not too over the top. You really believe that they suck. When you really believe the heel feels that way, the heel announcer feels that way, it's awesome. Right now, Corey Graves doesn't feel like that when he goes heel. He just feels like he's saying that to be heel. But like when Bobby the Brain Heenan said stuff, you believed it, but it was kind of funny sometimes. Jesse Ventura said something, you absolutely believed it. You really, he'd be like, I was a Navy SEAL. You really believe that Hulk Hogan is a good person? He's a terrible person. You believe everything he says. You'd be like, wow, he really means this. That's a heel on commentary. And Nigel is a bit of a little boring kind of ish sometimes, but you believe him. He's so stoic in that way. But he's exciting too when he gets technical. Like, oh, he might have ruptured something there on that drop kick off the ladder. Moro, he might have ruptured. Like you're just like, wow, you're feeling it like there's really a medical emergency happening in a match. Like, that's believability that you just don't get on the main roster. On the main roster, you get game show hosts. Beely, to me, Daniel Bryan is the best thing in WWE. Yeah, we got that one. Okay, yes. It's amazing because Daniel Bryan was dead, like, almost. It was like, Daniel Bryan, what happened to him? Oh, we need Daniel Bryan. He's going to be the best thing. Oh, he's garbage. Oh, now he goes heel. Now he's like the best thing again. Who the hell would ever think? I mean, Daniel knew it because he made the call. Manmore. If Drew McIntyre was in the final season of Game of Thrones, what would you have him do? Dude, I would have Drew McIntyre hacking down motherfuckers. Like hacking down, like, you like that, he cut his fucking head off. And he's cutting people's heads off. And then he goes like one-on-one with like Jamie Lannister. And then right as he's going for that headshot kill blow on Lannister, Lannister like ducks to the side like this and then stuffs his sword right in the throat of Drew McIntyre and he has an epic scene. It's only like a 50-second scene. He's like running like these fucking heads are flying off, like 6 heads fly off. But then Jamie Lannister comes up on a horse, and as he goes to cut his head off, he ducks.
Super chat Party.
Bam. 50 seconds. Drew McIntyre, Game of Thrones.
Steve Irwin, voice crikey mate, look at the size of that thing.
Crikey.
Points at your forehead, JK Joe. Love you, bro. Face with tears of joy.
Lysandro, what's up? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, this must be the lighting, because this has always been here. This is always here, guys. So I think it's lighting, because my lighting's hitting me right here. It's hitting me like this. So I think it's creating a shadow on it. Yeah, it's a freckle. It's always been there. That's crazy. That's going to drive me nuts. It's going to drive me insane. What a question. Legend, got to catch them all. Daniel Bryan, another legend, by the way. Daniel Bryan and Johnny Gargano is fucking garbage. Like, both of them are garbage, I guess? You're a fucking psycho for saying that. You're banned. No, I'm just kidding. Donnie M, should I go and get some ice cream?
Super chat.
Yes.
Drew McIntyre vs. Jon Snow, King of the Iron Throne.
It'd be sick, man. He could be great. He could be great in Game of Thrones. The Goon, thank you for the $2. It's more believable that he could be in Vikings because they've already casted Edge in Vikings. So, you know, he could be in Vikings. Donnie M, yeah, should I get ice cream? Yeah, go get ice cream. Unless you're allergic to dairy or milk. It's the Costanza. If WWE called you, what would you tell them? Where do I go? You know, I mean, like, WWE has emailed me before, and I said, and when they never got back to me a couple times, I did say, can you please give me a tryout? I'd love to come out there anytime, any place, any hour, whatever. Give me a tryout again. And they didn't get back to me, so it happens. At least they listened to me. At least they listened to my stuff. Appreciated that. You know, probably too much for them on the channel. I mean, I do play a bit of a character on this channel sometimes, so maybe they see that stuff and they don't. I mean, I'd probably be my real self on WWE Raw. I'd be Dan, probably be Dan Cronin. But I don't know if they know that, so who knows. Eddie MC, do you think AEW would do better on YouTube live stream than TV? No, Eddie, I don't, because I think if any of the indications of AEW's broadcast so far, it's like they hit. I don't think they hit more than more than 35,000 live viewers. I don't think that's ever happened. So I mean, you're talking about 15,000 to 25,000 live viewers, maybe. I don't know, maybe. I'd have to see the numbers start to pile up. I know that WWE draws about 60 to 70,000 on a YouTube live video. I think AEW might draw like 30. I don't know, though. I don't know the real numbers. So if you're on TV, you may get exposure to about 500,000, or you'll get exposure to at least 100,000 people. And then if those 100,000 people like you, and the 30,000 people are tuning in from the internet anyway, you're building an audience then. You really don't want to start, I don't think, on the internet with that. But you could, but it's a coin flip right now. It's starting to, actually the world is starting to change, and I'm not sure which way it's going to shift. If it's going to end up being better for them to only be on the internet, and then the TV is going to beg them to come there. That a lot of things have gone that way, where TV has begged you to come there because streaming is done so well, and you can do it yourself and keep all the money. The TV companies are like, hey, come over here. And the thing about TV is they'll pay you more, a lot more. They'll fund the product. You can't really fund the product as much online, but on TV you can, even if the viewership is really good online. So it's really a tough coin flip there. I mean, speaking of that, I mean, like you guys, like I don't have any sponsors. You guys are my sponsors. I don't want to worry about saying something and then Billy's Coffee fucking is mad at me and takes off. You guys pay for this stream. You guys support me. You guys paid for this stream tonight so far with the donations. Without that, I mean, I couldn't justify doing these shows or this show. I appreciate that. That was Eddie. Thank you, Eddie. Sir Resin, if TNA and ROH merge, would that be a good thing? It'd be a good thing if ROH acquired all of Impact's stuff and Ring of Honor renamed it all Ring of Honor, but they had the TV deal of Impact and they had all that stuff, but it was Ring of Honor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, I don't know. They would have to merge. People are in trouble right now because AEW is going to come in and they're going to be the biggest thing. I said this, and listen, go back a couple years. Go back 3 years. 3 years, the last many years, I've been saying, dude, New Japan is so big, and this is so big, and NXT is so big, and everything. The only way anything's going to be able to compete with WWE is if they create it here. Like Kenny Omega and all those guys, it needs to be in America, in an American promotion. They need to all go to Ring of Honor or all start their own thing because Ring of Honor doesn't do enough and all these things. And here we are with AEW. This is not new. This is something I said 3 years ago that needed to happen. I never thought it would happen this way, but it has happened. It's crazy that it's happened this way, but it's exactly what we said they needed to do because not enough people will go watch New Japan. Yes, it's awesome. New Japan is awesome, but not enough people will go there and understand all the Japanese stuff. Not enough people will go over to Impact with all the reputation of Impact and TNA. Not enough people know where to find Ring of Honor, and people are lazy anyway. And then a lot of people are watching NXT, and that's been better than everything to me. So NXT is the #1 product, in my opinion. And maybe New Japan is like right behind it, and I know that New Japan may be better to everybody or a lot of people or whatever. I prefer NXT. It's my favorite thing. Then New Japan, then Ring of Honor, then Impact, hell, House of Hardcore and stuff like that, and MLW, that's all on there too. PWG, like there's you can name all the places that I watch sometimes. Old Dirty Sausage, we're getting to the end here. Old Dirty Sausage, what 5 wrestlers do you think would survive better in any era back then rather than now? I think Kevin Owens would have survived, would have loved the Attitude Era. I think Dean Ambrose would have been better in the Attitude Era. Although maybe he wouldn't have been the way he is. You know, I'm not sure. A lot of these guys, man, I'm wondering if these wrestlers just don't have it. They just don't have that edge. They don't have the ability, the charisma, the voice, the look, the sound to put it all together to make a perfect superstar that's WWE right now draws because of the name WWE and then because of the amount of superstars they can compile that appeal to the audience, the product you're seeing. Whereas that was always the case, but, you know, thousands of people more would buy tickets based on, I gotta see Steve Austin. I gotta see Hulk Hogan. I gotta see the Ultimate Warrior or Macho Man Randy Savage. I gotta see Triple H. I gotta see DX. I gotta see The Undertaker. I gotta see. It's not gotta see anymore. And it is gotta see for some people, but it's not gotta see for as many people as it needs to be. Yeah, for some people, I gotta see AJ Styles. I gotta see Roman Reigns if you're a kid or a woman or whatever. Maybe. But what is there? You know what people had to see? The 25th year anniversary of Raw. People kind of gotta see that. That's why about 5 million people tuned in to see it, or 4.5 million people tuned in. About I would estimate about 2 million non-current WWE watchers tuned in. They heard about it, they tuned in. So many people I know heard about it and was like, I can't believe it. I haven't watched wrestling in 5 years, or I haven't watched wrestling in 10 years. I got to see what's going on. This is cool. 25 years of Raw. I remember we used to watch Raw, blah, blah, blah. They all tuned in. So many people. I saw my Facebook was lit up with people that were watching again. And they all tuned in. They all went, what the fuck is this? Literally. I had messages from old high school friends, from everybody. What is this?
Step aside Funk at Sushi Onita versus John Moxley, no DQ.
The Goon. Thanks, man, for the $2. That is the Goon. The Goo. Hey, Goon, thanks, man, for keeping the show hot. Appreciate that. Goon. Yeah, that will be a good... I mean, that stuff will be exciting. I never got too crazy into all the CCW, like, I'm going to cut your fucking side of your head open. You know, I'm not a huge fan of all of that, but, hey, it's more interesting than this shit sometimes. No doubt. I do like when you get a hardcore match every here or there, though. I will say that. Like those random hardcore matches. Like when that shit happens. We're almost at the end of these questions. We might be at the end. Old Dirty Sausage, I never answered this really, but I mean, I guess I'd like to see AJ Styles, Kevin Owens. I'd like to see Velveteen Dream go back there. Adam Cole. Shinsuke Nakamura, maybe. I mean, but, you know, again, maybe it wouldn't work. Maybe it wouldn't work. Goat says, your favorite thing from the Ruthless Aggression era. I don't know. That was around the time when I stopped watching wrestling for a little while. Like when John Cena came out and said, Ruthless Aggression. I wasn't watching that. I had stopped watching. I probably missed most of a lot of what happened between now I saw WrestleManias, all the Royal Rumbles, all the SummerSlams. But between WrestleMania 20 and WrestleMania 22, those 2 years from 20 to 22, I missed a lot of shit. I think one of my favorite things that I saw, though, was the JBL Cena hardcore match or whatever, where like dude, someone got busted wide the fuck open. That was nuts. I also enjoyed Shawn Michaels at the time. Kurt Angle was hot. Eddie Guerrero, and Chris Benoit and them, like, they were killing it, I think. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan back then of all that stuff they were doing. Like, yeah, I didn't really like a lot of it. I missed a lot of it, quite frankly. A lot of the stuff. I'd have to watch like a top 10 Ruthless Aggression era moments. Maybe I'll do that on my Patreon. I'll talk about top 10 Ruthless Aggression moments, and I'll watch them, and I'll think, oh yeah, did I see that, and do I remember that? But I guess one of my favorite things about it was that they were having good wrestling matches a lot of the times. Like the wrestling matches themselves were pretty good, as opposed to the Attitude Era. Where the Attitude Era had some really classic matches, but on a weekly basis, sometimes they just had these kind of go out there, roll around, pin, it's over. So the Attitude Era had some like really kind of lame wrestling matches. But then once in a while, there'd be some really good ones at the pay-per-views. Where the Aggression Era, a lot of the matches were pretty good on the weekly shows. Like SmackDown and even Raw. So, I don't know if you count Edge and Lita's live sex celebration, Ruthless Aggression Era. I don't know if that was. Maybe it wasn't. That was 06. I don't know. That was around WrestleMania 22 time, I think. That was a pretty funny moment. Favorite women's wrestler in WWE? Probably be Sasha Banks. Well, at least it used to be. Now she's gone. Do you watch MLW? What do you think about the new Hart Foundation? I haven't seen that. I'm way behind on MLW, but I do watch it here or there. I'd like to watch it more. You know, they're another company that I put my name in the hat for announcing. Didn't work out. Kind of was a little bit sour on them. I stopped watching it for a while. I was like, I can't watch it. Because it just makes me like, oh, God, I want to be there. But, yeah, they are really good, and I would recommend watching them if I was you guys. And I have not seen the new Hart Foundation yet, and I need to check that out because that's interesting. Guys, I got to get out of here. I got to go find out what's going on in my house. Shit's going down. I hope everybody has a good night. I will be live in 4 hours. In 4 hours, I will be live on my Patreon with Justin, Ken, and Leah. Filthy is out with a bad throat infection thing. So we're going to be live with the Corrupted podcast in just a little while. So, guys, it's not too late to jump over to Patreon. Become a patron. You get all my alerts, all my videos going up. This State of the WWE will be there in audio form for you guys. I want to say thank you to Woken PETA, who just became a patron again for $1. He is now going to get access to the Corrupted podcast tonight. Thank you to the Woken PETA. Also, thank you to J-Men Ace, hitting me up with a $10 pledge, becoming a Cran Club member on Patreon, VIP for the Discord. And Reckless Jeff as well is still here. What's up, man? Appreciate that. And Michael P with the $5 Patreon a month, guys. I'll see you tonight for the Corrupted podcast. It's not for the faint at heart. We're not talking wrestling. We're talking about crazy shit. It's episode 87 or 88 of the Corrupted podcast. Can you believe we're coming up to 100 episodes of Corrupted? The first 30-something episodes are free on iTunes, but everything else is available for download on the Patreon under the podcast stuff. Hit me up if you have any problems with Patreon, any questions about Patreon, or whatever. And I'll see you guys tonight for the Corrupted podcast. This was State of the WWE, episode 114. And I will see you guys tonight for Corrupted. By the way, thank you guys for all the donations during this stream. That was badass. I'm definitely going to do this more often with that type of support. Let's hope that Raw doesn't suck on Monday.
State of the WWE. State of the WWE. State of the WWE. It's looking shitty to me.
You're listening. Over 50 million views. You're listening to The Joe Cronin Show.
The Joe Cronin Show.